It was a bitterly cold Tuesday morning in late November when Miss Eleanor Hayes, a fifth-grade teacher at Crestview Elementary, arrived at school earlier than usual. The sky was still painted in strokes of gray, and the parking lot was nearly empty. She cradled her thermos of lukewarm coffee, her hands trembling more from the weight of unpaid bills than the weather. The school's aging heating system had been slow to kick in, and even the classroom felt like it shared her exhaustion. Eleanor wasn't just a teacher. She was a nurturer, a lifeline to dozens of children who often came to school with emptier hearts, and stomachs, than they should. It wasn't unusual for her to buy snacks out of her own pocket, quietly slipping them into backpacks or sneaking them onto desks. But today, her wallet held only a single crumpled $10 bill, her last until Friday's paycheck. She had skipped breakfast that morning, counting on a stale granola bar she kept in her drawer. But when she glanced at the back row, she saw him, Elijah. Quiet, withdrawn, and always alone during recess. His hoodie was 2 sizes too small, sleeves rolled up to hide frayed ends. But it was his eyes that caught her, the way they darted toward the lunch bags others carried, the way his fingers gripped his empty stomach when he thought no one was watching. By noon, Eleanor made a decision. "Elijah," she called gently as the class filed out for lunch, "do you mind staying back for a moment?" He hesitated, eyes wide with caution, and then slowly approached her desk. "Have you eaten today?" she asked. His lips pressed into a thin line. After a long pause, he whispered, "No, ma'am." Without hesitation, Eleanor reached into her purse, took out her last $10 bill, and placed it in his hand. "I want you to go to the cafeteria and get yourself something warm. Something good." Elijah looked at her, unsure, blinking rapidly like he wasn't used to this kind of kindness. "I'll pay you back," he mumbled. "You don't have to," she smiled. "Just promise me you'll grow up and help someone else someday." Elijah nodded, eyes welling with silent gratitude, and ran out the door with the innocence of someone who had just experienced his first real act of love. That moment became one Eleanor forgot in the blur of the years that followed. Life didn't get easier. The school faced budget cuts. Supplies became scarce. Her rent went up. Her health declined, and her knees ached more each morning. She never married, never had children of her own, but Eleanor gave everything, heart, soul, and sometimes dinner money, to her students. After nearly 35 years of teaching, Eleanor retired quietly. There were no grand celebrations, no big farewell party, just a small card from the staff and a stack of old lesson plans tucked into a cardboard box. She moved into a modest apartment near the edge of town, where the days grew long and silent. She missed the classroom. She missed the noise, the laughter, the challenge. But most of all, she missed feeling needed. One rainy afternoon, nearly 15 years after that lunchroom moment with Elijah, Eleanor sat by her window with a tattered book and a cup of weak tea. The rain tapped steadily against the glass, as if whispering stories from her past. Her phone rang, a number she didn't recognize. "Miss Hayes," came a voice, deep and unfamiliar, yet somehow warm. "Yes. This is Elijah. Elijah Brooks. I was in your class, many years ago. You once gave me $10 to buy lunch when I hadn't eaten." The name settled over her like a warm blanket. She hadn't heard it in so long. "Elijah," she repeated, voice cracking. "Oh my, I remember. I remember your eyes." He laughed gently. "I never forgot that day, Miss Hayes. That moment changed my life." She held the phone tightly. "I didn't do much." "You did everything," he said. "That one act made me believe someone cared. You saw me. And that made all the difference." They spoke for over an hour. He told her about the scholarship he'd earned in high school, the mentor he found later who encouraged him to study computer engineering, the small tech company he started out of a garage that now employed over 200 people. "I came from nothing, Miss Hayes. But your kindness planted the first seed." Tears fell freely down her cheeks. "I want to do something for you," he added. "No, Elijah. I didn't help you to get anything back. I know. But I have something planned. Just say yes." 2 weeks later, a car arrived outside her building. A young woman stepped out, greeting Eleanor by name. "I'm here to take you somewhere," she said, smiling. Eleanor, nervous and curious, followed. They drove through town until they reached a large, newly built center with glass walls and a colorful mural across the front that read, "The Hayes Learning Foundation." Her heart skipped. Inside, children laughed, read, explored technology, and engaged in arts and music. It was a place of energy and hope. A place for underprivileged kids to receive tutoring, mentorship, and meals, a sanctuary of possibility. Elijah stood waiting in the lobby, arms open. "I built this for you," he said, voice thick with emotion. "Every child who walks through those doors will feel the same warmth I felt that day in your classroom. This is your legacy." Eleanor gasped, hands covering her mouth. "I didn't build a company," he said. "I built this, because you taught me what matters most." She walked through the center, stunned by the photos of her on the wall, quotes she used to tell her students painted in bright colors, "Be the light someone else needs. Kindness is never wasted." As the sun poured through the windows, Eleanor sat in a soft chair by the reading corner. Children ran past her with laughter echoing through the halls. Her eyes closed for a moment, breathing in the joy. She had spent her whole life giving. And finally, the world gave back. Years later, long after Eleanor passed peacefully in her sleep, her story lived on, not just in the foundation's walls, but in the children who passed through its doors, in the single moments of kindness passed from stranger to stranger, in every teacher who gave just a little more than they had. All because one hungry boy became a grateful man. And one tired teacher believed that even $10 could change a life.